Welcome to The Adult Table, a podcast where we sit down with people in the SACE and our STEM community. We set the virtual table to bring in a diverse set of guests to engage in a casual conversation on their professional career and life.
With this podcast, we hope that we can bridge the gap between the hierarchy involved with growing up. We can redefine what it means to be able to figuratively sit at the adult table.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason Chin.
And I'm your other co-host, Jenny Chung. And today we have a special episode for you. Just the adult table team here to talk about the holidays, the new year, other things related to the holiday season. So I guess you could say that today we do have a special guest, Amberly. And Amberly, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Amberly. I have two roles in SACE, two main roles. I'm the West Regional Marketing Representative, and I also am the marketing, coordinator for the Adult Table podcast. And I mainly just help design graphics and manage the Instagram page. So happy to be here.
Yeah, Amberly, it's great to have you on the side of the camera, really, and be part of the show this time. But yeah, these past few months have been a little crazy, a little hectic. So Jenny, you want to catch up the listeners on what you've been doing the past couple months, I guess, and what's it been like back in the East Coast? I know you've been back for a bit now.
Yeah. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, I came back to the East Coast like before Thanksgiving from LA. Things are getting hectic in that area, and I was like, oh, maybe I should go home since I hadn't been home in about a year. I was like, you know what? I don't know when the next time I'll see my family is, so I was like, okay, with every safety precaution in place, obviously, was like, okay, I'm gonna go home. And now I'm just chilling here. Forgot what cold was like, but now I've adjusted, so it's fine. Yeah, it's been pretty nice to like be at home and just be in a different environment. But I don't know when I'll be back in the West Coast for sure. So we'll see how things pan out. But for now, I'm back as an East Coaster.
Nice.
Glad you're staying warm.
I'm trying. So what about you? Where have you been?
Yeah, so similarly, I was back at my parents' house in New York since like Thanksgiving. So it's been kind of wild. I'm normally home at least a couple times a year. And this time I was able to stay home for a long time. It's probably like the longest I've been home since, I don't know, maybe freshman year summer or high school or something like that. So
Yeah.
really nice to just like settle down, kind of really unpack at home and just spend a lot of time with my family. My brother was able to come back. He's living in Kansas City. So it was nice that we were able to safely get him over, spend the holiday with us. But yeah, it's been fun. I think my family does quarantine a lot, like very similar to me, and they just like love playing board games and staying in and watching movies and stuff. So it was nice. I basically didn't go outside the entire time I was home. But back in Boston now, so I have to go out into the cold, do some grocery shopping, do some errands and stuff. So it's been interesting. But yeah, like being back home, have you gotten like fully into all like the holiday traditions and everything?
So I mean, traditions in my family are a bit different. Holidays, I mean. So we don't really celebrate like holidays. We typically, like, I remember growing up, so Thanksgiving used to be the only day of the year that my parents have a Chinese restaurant. Let me back up. My parents have a Chinese restaurant. Shout out to Restaurant Kids. So they've had this restaurant for maybe like 20 plus years. And Thanksgiving used to be the like only day of all 365 days where they were closed. Actually, more recently they've been like opened. So that was actually the only day that like we would all be in the house and this like we would have hot pot. That would like be the thing that we would do. And the only thing we would like technically celebrate based on like the calendar. But then this year actually we were open, and there was actually quite a good amount of business, and even for Christmas too. Like we're usually open on that time as well. So like things are just open or closed based on whether or not we think it will be busy. So we don't really celebrate anything. But it was interesting to come back home for Thanksgiving this year. I mean, because of the pandemic, but also just like helping out, working and stuff like that again, because it's been a while since I've like worked in the restaurant, to be honest. And so it was like, oh wow, it's different. it's just like many hours. And I remember why I studied engineering. I was like, I don't want to work in the retail like food industry because some people are mean and don't like tip well and stuff like that, especially during like holidays. Some people are nice, but you always get like those few people that don't really care for some reason. But yeah, that's what we do during the holidays. Like I do miss hot pot. Like it's been a while since we broke out the hot pot kit. I do miss it. I want to find it so that I can, just do it again because I miss hot pot.
Mhm.
I miss like those type of food, like the foods that you eat where you just like sit at a table together with like one thing and you're like just taking from it. Yeah. So I guess that's our tradition. It's very non like I guess it's not the norm for a lot of people that I know, like other friends that I have. I feel like a lot of other people do that I hear like more of the actual Christmas stuff. But what about you, Jason?
Yeah, I think we're a little more traditional with our like holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, kind of basic American like
Mm.
holidays, you could say. But I don't know. We're as a family, we're so into Christmas. It's like favorite time for I think all five of us. Playing Christmas music super early, getting Christmas spirit. I'm wearing this like Christmas hat, like always showing off that Christmas spirit whenever you can. But yeah, nothing. I wouldn't say anything too special. We normally just get together with some family and just have a big meal and just wake up early, do the gifts. We still do stockings, even though
Oh, that's cute.
Santa is not really something that we believe in.
It's nice as a decorative element in the house too.
Yeah, and we still, or like my mom will still put stuff in there at night, so like we don't see
Oh,
her
that's
put it in
cute.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, so we've kept that up. It's kind of funny because like when you're a kid, you want to be the one to stay up and like catch Santa at night. First off, my old house that I used to live in didn't have a chimney. Like we put it on the window, so I don't know
Mm.
what I was thinking when I was like 8 or like 5 or 6
You
because
snuck in through the
I
window.
didn't um but yeah, like I would always fall asleep like too early, but now it's like
oh,
me and my siblings will stay up until like 4 or 5 a.m. So like my mom will we'll just have to let her know when to go downstairs and have some like time to put some stuff in the stocking. But I
Mm.
think that's the one tradition that we've really maintained throughout the years and probably for the like foreseeable future, I guess.
Do you have a Christmas tree? You guys set up a Christmas tree and stuff?
Oh yeah. We have one of the I think reusable ones. There's a better word
Okay.
for that. But yeah, we've had that one for I don't know, basically as long as I can remember. So did
you
you
don't
used to?
know.
Oh,
A
You
fact.
don't know that tree socks were a thing. I found that out just the past year.
What is a tree
That
sock?
tree skirt, my bad. Yeah.
Oh, it's like a
oh,
decorative thing.
It's apparently to catch the needles when they fall, but I did not know that was a thing. I always thought it was like a decorative thing, or I sometimes saw it, sometimes didn't. And then
Oh.
yeah, this year a friend showed me it's life changing because it adds a lot, I guess, to the composition.
Is
Have
it like
y'all heard
on
of
the
it?
bottom of the tree?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
called.
like a rug, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of like a
oh.
rug. That's
do you
cool.
have that, Jason?
Yeah, I did not know that there is more use to it aside from decorative. I thought it was just
Oh,
like a nice rug that you put down. You put the gifts on top of it.
Mm,
Um, Archery is fake, so I guess it doesn't have that much use right now for the
that's
needles.
true.
But
But
but yeah,
I've
Jenny, did you
never.
like put up?
No, we've never had a tree. I remember like when I was younger, like really young, and I was like, oh, everyone's like in school. When I was in school, everyone's talking about like, oh, we like decorate the tree with all these ornaments, and we would have days in school where we would like hand make ornaments. And I was like, what is the point of this? Like, I don't have anywhere
oh,
to put it. And I didn't really understand the significance of it because like people were just like making these stuff, and I was like, why? Because I don't have a thing to put it on. But I would remember like when I was younger wishing that like a tree would just appear in my living room. It was kind of just like a thing because I was like, oh, like we had a chimney, but it's like a fake chimney. It's not like a fake. It is a fake like fireplace in our chimney, but we do have one. And then I was like, oh, there's a perfect spot for a tree there. And I would always be like, oh, I wish we had a tree and like gifts would just appear. That was like when I was younger and believed in magic and stuff like that. But when I got older, when I got older, actually, I was like, okay, like it's not gonna happen. But a really good friend in high school actually like sent me like one of these baby. It was like a baby Christmas tree, like in a like a pot, so you can like bring it anywhere, and like gifted me one. It was really nice, and that was like my first ever Christmas tree, and I bought it to the restaurant because like obviously why would I bring it home? There's like no, we don't really weren't there all the time, so I was like, oh, put it there as like a nice decorative thing. So that was a really nice gesture, and that was the only tree of actually no, just kidding. Well, we've had a tree in college, so like a fake tree.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
so I like the idea of it, being able to decorate it and stuff like that. It seems like just like a nice thing to do to make like the home feel festive.
hmm Do
Yeah.
you think, like, I know you said that you didn't really celebrate when you were younger, but do you think you'll celebrate Christmas and stuff in the future, like when you're older and I don't know,
Yeah,
have
I
your own
think
place and stuff?
so. Yeah, I think definitely would want to like create those new traditions in the future. Even with my parents, I feel like when I want to try to find a time when they're not working, maybe like when they decide to retire, just to like start those traditions because I feel like it's a really good way to bring like people together, like as you said, like you all your family like is really in it and they like it's just like a good bonding time or like the time that you spend with family is just like really important. So I think it's just like a nice time. Like people don't necessarily have work. Usually like if you work in whatever industry, you usually have it off. So it's like a perfect time where people can just like relax before the new year. So I definitely want to. Definitely with my siblings. I come from a pretty big family, so I want to see them again when things are okay. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, like sending out Christmas cards. Like I want to do that. Like
Oh,
people make really cute Christmas cards like with their pets and with
Mm.
their like family. Does your family do that, Jason?
We used to. My family has gotten a little lazy with that, but it might be for the better because I looked at a couple of old Christmas cards and they're like pretty cringy and pretty
But that's like the good
bad.
part, like the
yeah.
memes, you know?
I just like don't know what we were thinking of, like how we were posing, or
You guys
I
have
don't
like
know.
matching outfits and stuff.
No, we didn't
Oh,
do that. We didn't get to the stage of. I know a lot of people do like matching pajamas and stuff. We never
yeah.
got to that stage, but
That's so cute though.
yeah, this year actually we tried to recreate some of the photos that we found from
Mm.
the Christmas holiday, but still a little awkward. But yeah, I always loved when like college roommates would do a Christmas card too. I always thought that
Mm.
was really
Oh,
cute.
that is really cute.
It would kind of
Yeah.
make it a little derpy too,
Yeah.
show off their personality. But yeah, I love the idea of like Christmas cards. I know like a lot of my parents' friends send Christmas cards every year, and it's kind of just like to catch up and see what like some family friends are doing because
Hmm.
at this point in time I don't really see them too often. But it's nice to
Right.
know like, oh, this person has like this kid now or
Yeah.
doing good things over there. So
Are there any other like silly things that you guys do every Christmas or Thanksgiving?
hmm. I don't think any other like big traditions. We just do gifts every year. We normally
Hmm.
just have a big dinner and we'll have like a big Christmas party with our family friends who are basically family at this point. So we'll get like a big party at our place, and I think that's it for traditions. We've been doing something recently the past couple years where like all the kids will gather around the table and it's like this little game where you take out oven mitts and there's like a
Oh,
really well wrapped gift
yep.
and it
Hmm.
gets like passed around and
Oh,
you're
I
trying to
know
like
it.
I
open it
played
really
that.
quickly.
Yeah.
It's funny because it gets like so intense and the thing inside of it is like I don't know, a $5 bill or like
Yeah.
a $5 like iTunes card and you're like working and sweating for it. But
Hmm.
we've been doing that for the past couple years too.
Hmm.
But nothing else. How about yourself?
No, nothing really. I mean, like I do like guns and stuff. We do like gifts exchanges and stuff like that. I think I've been doing like those gifts exchanges pretty like every year. So it's been like about 6 years now with like college friends. So that's pretty fun just to do that because I wasn't used to like receiving gifts or giving gifts. So I remember
Mm.
when I first like was like, oh, I guess I have to buy gifts for friends. It was like foreign to me, even for like birthdays. We're really celebrating these things. So when
Oh,
I like started school, my friends like they like threw a party for me and like we had cake and then like they gave me a gift and I was like, wow, that's really nice. I like this
sweet.
attention. But also since my birthday falls close to like Christmas time or the end of the semester, it was kind of always like a together. Sometimes it was like a joint thing. Where one year I remember it was like my sophomore year, we did the gifts exchange like before and then they surprised me with the birthday party after when I was like in tears. I was crying from the gifts exchange. So I was like, oh my god, like this was so nice to do a gifts exchange. I've never done it before. And then they surprised me with the birthday party. I was like, oh my god, I've never had a birthday party really ever before. What the heck? There's a lot of emotions, but that was like probably the most memorable like holiday birthday that I've had, just because it was just so surprising, and it was like one of the first experiences that I've had for both things being celebrated. So that is a near and dear memory that I hold. Shout out to you, friends.
Man, that's amazing. All of it in one day for you.
Yeah,
Did it come with the extra gifts too?
yeah, there were birthday gifts and Christmas gifts. I was like,
Oh.
whoa. And there's ice cream cake, my favorite type of cake, because I don't really eat cake.
Ooh.
Ice cream cake? Yes.
Mint chocolate chip. Oh, that's a
Ooh.
controversy, but I like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
It's
It's a
revealed.
controversy.
People don't like mint in food. I don't like when people stick like candy canes in drinks, to be honest. If we're still on the mint topic. Like I don't like that.
Like as a like blended or just like in little chunks, like
I
as
guess
a decorative thing.
I think
or...
people as a decorative thing, or when people make like peppermint bark, they're just like pieces of candy
Oh,
cane and chocolate. I don't like
see.
that. It's
I see, I
weird.
see. It's almost the same as mint chocolate.
I don't like the crunch of the candy cane, you know.
Mm.
Interesting.
All right, off topic.
It always comes back to food.
Yeah.
Yeah, this fits in the holiday food.
Mhm. Oh yeah, like do you eat turkey or Christmas ham?
I used to do turkey. My sister's now pescatarian, and my brother, his girlfriend is vegan, so he eats a lot of that way too. So I'm kind of transitioning more to less meat. So in the last 2 years, my mom made some like salmon Wellington, and that's like the big main dish there.
That sounds
And
great. We don't need the turkey.
Amazing.
Yeah.
honestly, like even Thanksgiving, like turkey, I don't know. I think it's overrated. Like I'm all in for the carbs, all the sides.
Agreed.
Even,
That's the best part. Yeah.
yeah, I don't care if there's a turkey at all. Just fill my plate with mac and cheese and stuffing, and I'll be so happy.
Like just potato based, like mashed potatoes and what else is there?
Yeah.
Potato salad.
We're just listing foods.
Yeah. The listeners now know if they want to make us happy, they could bring us some mint chocolate chip ice cream and some stuffing,
Yes.
But yeah, so I know you mentioned Thanksgiving and Christmas, but did you or your family do stuff for like the New Year's?
I don't know. It's just another day. We don't really do anything. Like I know people watch like the ball drop in New York and stuff like that on TV, which I've never watched until like last year. I thought it was like this great thing, but to be honest, it's just like a ball sliding down a pole, right? That's my take on it. I know there's like a show and everything beforehand. So that's pretty cool. I like seeing the performances. I think last year like BTS performed, so that was like the big thing. And then I think usually I just stay up until midnight and then just be like, oh, woo, New Year, have a drink, and then just go on with our normal day. I think this year specifically was more like a number changing, but I stayed on a call with some friends and then we just like cheersed. Yeah, that was basically it. It's like, okay, we survived the year of 2020. Now it's just 2021. That's how I celebrate. Yeah, I don't think I really do anything other than that. What about you?
Yeah, there's not too much. I think the like New Year's used to be like a big thing. I don't know, first couple years of college, hanging out with like my high school friends that I haven't seen in a while. But yeah, this year I like was tired at 12, didn't really do anything. We just like watched a movie. It was like very low key. and I can't tell if it's because of the pandemic or because of me, but I could see myself doing this for the rest of New Year's. I don't need to go out and do stuff. Like, it's nice to just chill and sleep early for once. I think I slept earlier, like on New Year's Eve this year, than I did for like the rest of the time that I was home, which is really weird.
The energy that you both have when you're talking about it, you're like, yeah, really.
It's just another time.
It sounds so jaded.
Yeah.
That's what I miss about like in childhood. You kind of have a more, like, I don't know, excitement or fascination with these things. Like, I definitely look forward to certain things in the year because, you know, you stay up or you eat certain foods only during this time. But then, yeah, now that we're older, it's just like, it's another day. I can eat this food anytime I want because I can make it myself now or something.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I think when I was younger, even for like New Year's, it seemed, more special. It was like, wow, like I'm gonna be older, like, and I'm gonna do all this stuff in the new year. But then now it's just like, when I think about the new year and like all the holidays and stuff happening, okay, I need to like work on my timeline, like my professional timeline, like where I want to be in 5 years. Like, I think that's how I think about things now. It's like growing up or whatever. It's like, oh, like I'll go back to school and see like my new friends or make new friends like during this new chapter, right, of the new year. But now it's just like, oh, I'm just like working. It's still the same job. Like, I'm not advancing in a grade or anything. It's the same job. I need to figure out like what I'm doing. I need to do taxes soon. That's a thing. Need to get all that sorted out. Had to enroll in like healthcare. Like, you had to do that like going into the new year, right? So you had to do all this stuff now. It's like, oh, I think younger it's like, oh, we do FAFSA.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a new year, you file for FAFSA. But yeah, now it's just like jaded. It's not jaded. I think it's just like more realistic. But yes, the magic is gone. That is true.
That sounds like the way that, like, I don't know, a really old person describes jaded. They're like, it's not jaded, it's just true.
Right. I've never thought I would talk like this. Like, when I was younger, I was like, I'm never going to be one of those people. And now I'm like only 24. I'm like, what?
It happens without you realizing it. Because I've definitely had older friends being like, yeah, I'm older now, I have to do skincare or things like that. And I'm like, oh, but now I'm like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, shoot, I have to start doing skincare myself or something like that. So this happens naturally without you knowing.
It really does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as cliche as like it is, it's like, wow, those college days did go by really quickly. And now I'm old and in a job forever.
I guess like going off of New Year stuff, Lunar New Year is coming up soon. So Lunar New Year is on February 12th, which is coming up when this episode comes out. So I guess, how do you guys celebrate it, if you do at all, or how is it different to New Year's, regular New Year's? I know for me, we usually do more things because my family we don't take the day off, but we used to celebrate in the restaurant still because like you can cook a lot more food in volume. So it's like the perfect place to just like cook a bunch of food and eat and occasionally take a break from the food to like help out. But we would basically place we would have all this food that my parents would cook, usually like it had like lobster, like all the seafood that you can imagine, like clams and everything. And then there was like a duck too. There was like so much like protein, just like things and vegetables. But it was like stuff that I normally didn't really have, right? So that was why it was special, like going back to the holiday thing. So it's like something I looked forward to. And then we would do that. And then I remember sometimes if we were home later in the night, if there wasn't like too much business, we would put on that like Chinese show that they have playing on whatever Chinese network, where they're just like doing a full out, like, I don't know, it's like 24 hours or like maybe a whole week of them just doing like shows and like flexing like, all that China has to offer, like all the musicians and like the dancers with like fans or ribbons, show off the culture. And it's a really big deal in China. So I remember every year we would watch that, like call our relatives back in China, because you have to wish them a new year the day before, because it's happening like the day 12 hours before, right? So you have to wish them a new year. And then then I think that's really it. There's like some things that my parents do with like some horoscopes for like the zodiac signs, because like depending on what year, what animal year it is, I know if it's your if it's your year, like the one that you're born in, you have to be like extra careful because usually that means that you're more like susceptible to like bad things happening to you or something, or more misfortune if it's your year. So you have to be careful. So I know this year recently was the year. Right now is the year of the rat, I believe.
Yeah.
So I remember when it was like the new Lunar New Year, my parents were like, "Oh, be careful of like, be extra careful," which is interesting because I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess so." But that's something new I learned about my culture. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I ever heard about that, being more careful, because Emily, you're the same year as me, right? So we're coming up
Yes.
on the ox year this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So that was
Be
a
careful.
good warning. Yeah,
You gotta be careful, Jason.
Oh, not
Let's
anything
see.
in particular, just of everything.
If to add to the tradition thing, I think my mom has told me before, like for cows or something, pink would be a good color for relationships or something. So she's definitely told me, she's definitely at some point bought me some shirt or something like, you should wear this more for good luck and things like that. So it's always fun to hear my mom tell me these things, and like I'll take it with a grain of salt, but keep it in the back of my mind too. Yeah.
That's perfect. Get a pink shirt for Valentine's Day 2 days later.
That's true.
Double use right there.
I understand how, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm like a third generation, so I feel like we're pretty Americanized. So it's funny how you were talking about the ball dropping show, because I feel like right when you're talking about like the Chinese show on Lunar New Year, it was kind of like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Like I don't know anything about that. Although that show sounds a lot cooler than the ball dropping.
I think it is.
But yeah, there's
Yeah,
so many superstitions, and I feel like when I talk to people who like celebrate Lunar New Year too, they all have like little small quirky like superstitions, and I have no idea what's like real or not, like, or like what I should believe, or like what's been misinterpreted like past like generation to generation or whatever. Like the only one that I follow now is, do you guys like get like oranges and like put them in rooms or whatever?
Like peels?
No, we get just, I remember a big thing to just buy like 3 oranges and you put it in like each room of the house.
Oh no, I've never heard of this. Do you eat
signifies-
them?
either.
Do you eat them after a certain amount of time?
You can. I don't know.
Let it go bad.
No, I've never heard of that. Like the only ones that I know are like the hair cutting one, that you shouldn't cut your hair after the new year, or right after, because then you're gonna cut like your fortune or like whatever blessing away. Same for like showering, I think. You're not supposed to shower right after. I think that's a thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about any other New Year ones.
I have one. You shouldn't eat rice porridge on the first day because it means that you'll be eating. I guess it is represent as a poor man's meal, kind of. So if you eat that on the first day, it represents like lack of wealth for the rest of the year.
Oh, okay.
Is that why you're supposed to have like a really large meal? It's like this is how like all your meals should be in the rest of the year, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Do both of you think that you'll carry over these superstitions, whether you like believe them or not, but like kind of pass on these stories or what you've heard from like your parents or family members?
I kind of want to.
Yeah, same.
There's no logic to it in a sense, but I feel like happier memories of my childhood have been associated with like tying with this heritage or this idea of it. Or like just even hearing my mom tell me these things, it's like I like to just laugh about it or something and then go on with my day or something. I don't really let it affect me too much, but it's still fun to hear.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a little piece of carrying on the culture. So I think whatever, fortunately, I can't really carry on like language and stuff as much as I want to, but like the little things that we do for the new year or just like other things, I think it's nice to just be like, oh yeah, I remember we used to do this. They won't think that it'll be like cultural things. If I like have children, they'll be like, oh, it's just something we do. But I think it's just like a nice little piece to bring forward. Yeah.
True.
How about
Yeah,
you,
I think
Jason? Do you think you would reintroduce traditions, like you doing the research or something, and then
Oh yeah.
maybe adding new traditions?
that's a good point. I don't know. I think yeah, I feel like I want to carry on like some amount of like culture, but I think when I think about how I would explain it in the future, like I don't know like anything. So it would require a lot
Right.
of like research into it. So I'm not sure if it's like necessarily I guess like the culture from like my parents versus just like whatever I found online. But I think like I would want to put down some sort of I don't know structure of like culture or superstition, not superstitions, but kind of those ideas that my parents had sent. And I think I've appreciated that like my parents, like when they tell us that, like whether they believe it or not, they give us like the opportunity to either like believe it or do kind of what we want to do with it with that knowledge. So not like pushing it on too much. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what the future would be for me.
Nice.
But yeah, I guess the new year you're always like looking for I don't know, Lunar New Year. It's always like good luck and good fortune and stuff. But how do you guys feel about the new year moving forward?
In terms of 2021, I don't know. I think there's a lot going on right now in the world with current events and everything. So honestly, it's been kind of tiring. Just like I think the whole period of like quarantining. So I feel like everyone's kind of tired and looking forward to just trying to not that everything will ever return normal, but return to some sort of normalcy again in terms of whether it's going into work, if they don't do so already, if they're working from home all the time and being around like either their roommates or their family and stuff like that. I just want to be able to like go to, I don't know, I want to go to a concert or something. Like I want to go outside and like not be worried to be surrounded by people, but I know that's like a long time coming. But like little things, like I want to go to a museum or something like that. Like I haven't been in a museum in a while, or just like attend like other nice things. But in terms of also like the new year, I don't normally set New Year's resolutions because I feel like I break them or like I never follow through or never commit because the goals are too big. Usually it's always like, oh, gonna work out every day. Like that doesn't happen, right? You always see those people like going to the gym, and I was one of those people. Be like, I'm gonna do it. I have so much discipline, but it never went through. But I think that's only the reason it never, like, I never really fully committed was because the goal was was so like big, and there's no way that anyone could normally commit to those things. So this year I was like, you know what? I want to set those like smaller goals that are more accomplishable and maybe it'll like build toward a bigger picture. So I actually wrote like some goals down, like one of them being just to move more. I think not even exercise, like just like to walk around more. And if I'm like taking a call, like walk around the house, moving for the sake of just moving, not necessarily for exercise. I think that I've just been sitting at a computer all day, like when I'm working. And then like after work, I'm just sitting on my personal computer. And then when I'm done with that, I go on my phone. So I think I'm just trying to be more aware of my screen time and moving around and walking around just to, get the blood flowing. So I think that's one thing that a little thing I want to make change to my lifestyle while I'm at home and just like indoors. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I kind of had a similar thought on like goals and stuff. I think last year I wrote down a couple of goals and obviously it was hindered from the pandemic and stuff. But yeah, now that I'm working full time and not having like the flows of like a semester, like going home, doing a new semester, starting this new thing, like trying to set myself up for long term like routines and things that are looking further than this year. So I think in like college and stuff, you're kind of like wrapped up into like the immediate semester or like what you're going to do over the summer or like internships and preparing for that. But now setting into that, setting like little goals to keep myself moving forward. Those big lofty goals never really worked for me, but I do have to just sit down and like write these up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep reminding myself. Last year I tried to like print out the goals and like put it on this like cork board that was right by my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But I think the novelty kind of wore off after a couple weeks. So gotta think of new techniques to keep those little goals up. But I like your like just moving one. Because when you're trying to exercise or whatever, it's like, oh, I need to get dressed, I need to do this, I need to like prepare, I need to like give some time to like shower and stuff. But just like get up, get the blood flowing. Might steal that from you. We'll see.
All right, that's fine with me.
We can hold each other accountable, because like in a similar sense, I do feel myself not taking enough breaks when I'm like working on the computer so much, and then I get tired and I'm like, oh, is it dehydration or lack of sleep or a lot of other things? But it's probably just the simple thing of not taking enough breaks, and just gotta stare away sometimes. And I also didn't realize how big of a help my blue light I think helped, because before I like switched between, I was using another one that wasn't, and I was getting more headaches frequently, and I switched to my blue light ones, and I was like, okay, so that was a big problem. So I do want to take more breaks too. We can hold each other accountable for that.
Nice. Maybe we get an ad for these blue light glasses.
True.
Podcast
sponsors.
Yeah.
They're big save. But yeah. Are there any other resolutions?
Let's see. I did write some things in my journal. Like I want to journal more. I know that that's like something that I used to do, or I didn't used to do that often, but I used to bullet journal a lot, mainly because I had a huge like checklist every day of like what I needed to complete in a day, or like what deadlines I have. But now it's not really that. I don't really have like that many deadlines. I have deadlines, but it's for work and it's on my work calendar. But I want to journal more, just to like have it as like a routine, just to like reflect. And I try to do this exercise every day, but I've been failing, where you just like write 3 things that you're grateful for each day. And it's just like a good exercise to be like, okay, like even if you feel like you don't accomplish that much in a day, like there's just so many things that we take for granted, whether it be like, I'm really grateful for candles just because like they're really nice. Like it doesn't even have to be a big thing, or just like eating fruit during the day, or some like small things, just to like remind myself sometimes if I'm looking back and be like, oh, like I'm not feeling too good today, but then I read my journal, I'm like, you know what? Life is not that bad as it make it out to be. So I want to do that more, and just like be more reflective about like my feelings and like why I feel certain ways sometimes, just to unlock that part of my brain. That's something else I'm looking to do more as well.
Yeah, I think if the pandemic shined anything, it's like making sure you take care of your like mental health, and like writing stuff, and like being reflective on what you've been doing. Because I think for me, like I could definitely get into or get caught up with like work, get caught up with everything, and I just don't have time to like just pause and take a breath and just think about things. But I don't know, Jenny, you're putting out some really good goals.
That's true. Or one last thing. I guess I do have more, but one like I guess more fun thing is I'm trying to do this dry January thing where I don't drink anything for January. And as you know, if you know me personally, you know that I like to partake in the drinking, because I just like it. Not that I have any issues with it, but it's just like a more social thing. But I think I was like, you know what? I want to try like. It got like unhealthy in like quarantine, so I was like, you know what, I need to chill for a bit, and then we'll like reevaluate like how I want to proceed with alcohol. But I mean, when I'm at home, it's like really there's no reason really for me to drink or anything, so it's like pretty easy. And it's like if I were to go back to California and like not drink boba, it's like I'm not gonna drink boba here because it's not that accessible, right? So I don't really have that much alcohol here anyways, so it's just like, you know what, it's a cleanse.
Yeah, to wrap up, let's do a rapid fire of question.
The turntable,
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, so favorite holiday food.
Hot pot.
Ooh,
I'll do the salmon Wellington that I mentioned.
Ooh.
nice. Okay, next one. Wake up early or sleep in for Christmas.
Sleep in.
Wake up early.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay, I want to ask. Okay, moving on. Best gift you've given or received.
All right. One year, I don't know if this is like too personal, but my girlfriend got me like this box, and it's like all of these notes that say like open when like X or whatever. So she wrote down like all these notes, and it was kind of perfect for when I had moved out to San Diego because it's kind of on my own. So it's like open when you like move into your new apartment, or open when you have your first day of work and stuff. So I think that was the best gift. That was really awesome.
That's super thoughtful.
Best gift I've given, well, it's like kind of a gag gift, but we gave one of my friends like a cardboard cutout of a K-pop her stan. And then so I thought that was just funny. It was Jimin for BTS. And we surprised her at a thing. And then I guess for received, I would say, yeah, probably I don't necessarily remember the gift that I got during that, what I talked about for that first time I celebrated like Christmas and my birthday. But I think that one is like, that feeling is the best gift. Friendship.
Friendship. Love it. Next one would be favorite Christmas song to play.
It's gotta be Santa Tell Me.
I agree.
Also, I found out that there is a All I Want for Christmas Is You version with Justin Bieber. So it's Mariah and Justin.
What the heck?
I actually like it more. So
okay, I gotta take a listen.
It's pretty good.
In high school, I was obsessed with Mistletoe. That's a
classic.
it was just, I don't know why. I like played that on repeat, even not in Christmas. But yeah, that was a good song. Anyway, okay, when to put up and take down your Christmas tree? Cool. Do you guys have timelines or deadlines for it?
I guess it's just me, right?
I can answer hypothetically.
What's the hypothetical answer?
I think if I were to have a tree in the future, which I might, I'll probably put it up like first week of December. I wouldn't do it like right after Thanksgiving, and then I'll take it down like probably after the new year is over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have like my parents are a little more structured in this just because my brother's birthday's in December, so we wait until after December to put it up.
Aww.
Or after his birthday to put it up, and then we take it down. My mom used to be like pretty religious, so I think it's like called Three Kings Day, and like that's when we take down all the Christmas decorations and stuff. So I think it's like a couple days into January. Honestly, not really sure. I'm normally not home to put the Christmas stuff away.
That is definitely more structured.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, do you stay up before or for New Year's?
Heck yeah.
At what point do you think you'll stop? Do you think you'll ever stop?
No, I think it's like a nice thing to do. I think I would continue to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like staying up to 12 isn't as like big of a thing as it used to be as a kid. Like as a kid, if I'm going to sleep at like 9, it's like, wow, I want to sleep at 12. And now it's like, oh, I want to sleep early for work and I want to sleep at 12:30.
The last one is holiday superstitions.
Wait, did you used to believe in like leaving cookies out or milk for Santa?
Ooh.
No, I don't think we ever did that.
I always enjoyed that concept of like people doing like that when I hear people doing it, and then the kids seeing the cookies and milk like gone. They're like, oh my god, Santa was here. Or like I remember it's like Elf on the Shelf, like the elf just moves around, but I found that more creepy than the cookies. So that's a whole nother discussion.
I didn't know that was a thing. Whoa,
that thing seems so creepy. Like, isn't the whole theme like it's always like watching or listening?
Watching. Yeah,
it's like
it's like a weird like Toy Story where it's like when you don't look at it, like moves and does other stuff. who knows what it does.
Yeah, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that tradition in my life.
But I don't have any other superstitions besides the ones that we covered. Oh, I think one thing I remember kids do is that like if they want it to snow before Christmas, they have like there's like snow things that people do where they like sleep with a spoon under their pillow or like pour like is it hot or cold water outside the night before or something because it'll freeze or something like that to like try to make it snow. There's like some weird things that people like peers did growing up, but those are some superstitions.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, all right, I'll ask it. This kind of plays into the would you rather question that I had.
Okay.
So, would you rather, I guess for both of you guys, since you live kind of in California, whatever, would you rather have a really warm Christmas, like a tropical one, or like cool so you could have like a white Christmas and stuff?
Warm. I like the warm. I actually celebrated one Christmas in college in Florida. And so we were at the beach and stuff. And it was really weird not seeing like snow and like being outside. But it was like so nice because I like warm weather more. So because you can like go outside and do more things on Christmas. Not that you can't like play in snow or whatever, but I just like don't like the snow.
Oh, I guess, yeah, having been in the West Coast all my life, it's definitely romanticized in movies. So I've always thought it would be cool to have snow on, even the song like White Christmas. It's just like, it makes it sound so magical. Yeah, how long would that be? Is it just that one day? And then, or is it just like a whole period of cold and snow? I feel like I would go towards snow for Christmas.
Oh, interesting.
What about you, Jason?
I've never spent a Christmas not in like New York. So I feel like it'd be weird to not be in like the cold during Christmas, but I guess like ideal situation would be like a white Christmas and then it's like 50 degrees for the rest of the time that I'm home. Like, because if not, like I'm not going outside. I'm not doing anything.
Fair, yeah. Global warming. Work on that. I'm just kidding. It's like totally plausible with the weather that we've been having. All right. Thanks for listening to our holiday episode of The Adult Table. We'll be back to our regular schedule and content of bringing on guests. And we hope that you enjoyed this casual conversation with just the Adult Table team. And if you enjoyed this one, let us know. We could potentially do more. It's always nice to just kind of sit down and casually talk about things on our mind or random things. So yeah, this was fun. So we're excited to bring you new content in the new year. So be sure to check that out.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when episodes come out. And follow us on Instagram at the Adult Table Podcast for updates. I'm Jason Chin.
I'm Jenny Chung.
And I'm Amberly Ngo. We'll see you next time at the Adult Table. Thanks for listening.